Hey everyone, it's Kelly Laverty with Be Rooted Wellness Studio, where we help you root into your body, regulate your stress, and reclaim your life. And this week's Movement Monday practice is all about that rooting into your body so that you can regulate. And regulate often is confused with control, with calming, with judging good or bad. I want you to allow yourself to realize that regulation is really about responding and about the communication between the mind and the body. So we're going to work on that communication, and the main way that our body communicates with our mind and vice versa is through movement. So movement is the way, the action, the way that we can regulate. And we learn how to do this. We learn what our body needs through movement. And we're going to practice a very specific sequence today that I hope will help you allow yourself to play and explore this week in terms of how might you respond, how might you feel, and then know, and then listen to what your body needs. We're going to do that through moving and then naming. So we are going to start with a movement, which will be the language that our body speaks, and allow our body to have some voice, to have some energy, and allow our mind to pay attention. So the movement just brings attention to your body. So wherever you're at, I'd love for you to start with a movement. Maybe it's a sway, like I'm doing. Maybe it's noticing your breath. Allow yourself to notice the movement, okay? And as I have named the movement, you could start with that. You could just say breath if you took a breath. You could just say feet if your feet are shifting, if you're noticing that. You could say sway or shift. Start with just naming the movement to get your mind noticing. We're taking out judgment. We are taking out expectation. I'm not creating a story or a meaning to what my shifting, what my hands are doing. That is a challenge for many of us. We want to know why. What does this mean? What is this movement doing for me? I want you to step out of that and really just allow yourself to name so that you can know what's happening in your body in this moment. And all that's happening is the movement is telling you about your experience. So that's the next thing that you're going to name. So my sigh is something that I'm naming and noticing. My forward and back is something that I'm naming and noticing. And I'm having a word come to me of just forward, action. That word is just something that came to me, came to my mind. I want you to notice if there's a word or something that you can name about your experience that comes to you, that you can notice, that your movement is telling you. And again, we're not putting meaning to it. We're not doing any judgment, but I am going to use that forward action as a direction, as a prompt for my movement to continue. So I'm adding a little bit of intention. I'm letting the mind speak back to my body. My mind came up with that word, forward, came up with the action, and now I'm going to let my movement communicate back to my body. And I'm going to do some forward action. So I want you to notice what word, what information is coming to you. What is your mind saying about how your body feels right now, what you're sensing, what your body is doing in the movement. It might just be positive, negative, neutral. It might be an image. Not all of our brains work the same. You might not have a word, something that you can name. I want you to just play a little bit, be open to moving in the way that your mind named. Letting the movement build off of that idea, off of that communication from your mind. And now you're going to name something else that you notice. So I'm getting a little bit faster, and the word is speed that's coming to me. So I'm going to play movement with some speed. And I might be having some impulses to speed up, but I'm also going to allow my curiosity to notice if my movement, how does it feel to slow down? What's coming up? What am I learning from this movement? What is my body telling me? There's no right or wrong, and again, I'm not trying to create a story or meaning. I'm just naming the experience. And just noticing this movement that came after speeding up, slowing down. My mind came up with be. And that's the message that I want to take in and allow myself to just feel right now. I want to practice. How does it feel to be? And take that in. I think my mind might really be getting the message from my body that I need to step out of go, 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 of the fast pace and slow it down and allow myself to just be for a moment. I'm going to allow that to happen in my movement between my body and mind, trusting that my body is speaking wisdom, that I can trust the information my body is giving. I don't have to doubt it. I don't have to question it. I don't have to judge it and have expectations right now. I'm just learning to listen and tune in to what my body has to say. And I'd love for you to practice that. I'd love for you to replay this and try it a different way. See what else your mind speaks to you, what it notices coming from your body. What does your body have to say today? And how does it feel to let that communication go between body and mind using movement? I'd love for you to join us here in Westchester, Pennsylvania for our weekly classes. We are a studio that is a little bit different. We use movement for mental wellness, and all of our classes are about getting out of the mind and into the body and building that communication so that you start to learn about your body, you start to trust your body, and you start to live different because you have found your root in your body. So I'd love for you to join us. If you're not local, please join me every Monday, Movement Monday. Follow, subscribe here on YouTube. And also, there's a link to subscribe to our newsletter so that you can get our emails each week. I offer various online events and courses, as well as virtual one-on-one dance movement therapy, as well as in-person dance movement therapy. So that will help you go from just practicing movement and finding how it impacts your wellness on a day-to-day. If you feel like you need another level of support, if you need some psychotherapy, some work with someone in terms of taking your issues, your stressors, your patterns in life that have come from your life experiences. I work in the somatic way to do counseling, to do psychotherapy along with movement. And I'd love to share more about that. I'd love to have you reach out if you have questions, if you're looking for a therapist, but you've done talk therapy and it hasn't helped produce the results, the change that you want. That's why I integrate movement in. That's why I became a dance movement therapist, is because we learn through movement. We change and we grow through movement in our body. We just need to know how to do that. Our culture's gotten really far away from that, and we've become more and more disconnected, disembodied, and I want to help the world connect more. I want you to remember that the body is our home. It is where we came into the world, and connecting and listening to your body is the way that you can move through life, really allowing yourself to reclaim your life. So reach out, take care, and I'll see you next Monday.